मेरे घर में खड़ा होकर ठोकर कर रहा था।
हाँ।
4-5 आदमी ने मेरे को गाड़ी पूरा बंद कर दिया।
हाँ।
और बॉक्स तो पूरा चौक हो गया।
আমি সবাইকে বিশেষ করে আমার যারা কর্মী ভাই বোনেরা আছেন এবং সাধারণ মানুষ আছেন, এটা ঠিক যে কালকে খুব জোর আমার লেগেছিল এবং আমার হাত পায়ে চোট আছে, বোন ইনজুরি আছে, লিগামেন্টে আছে।
हो सकता है एक्सीडेंट कभी भी हो सकती है, किसी का भी हो सकता है, सतर्क रहना चाहिए। क्यों हुआ है उसका इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए, लेकिन इसको लेके इतनी बड़ी राजनीति और नाटक करने का क्या माने और बार बार अलग अलग बयान देकर लोगों को भड़काने का प्रयास किया जाए, इससे चिंता होती है। मुख्यमंत्री की तरफ से ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए।
प्रधानमंत्री को जैसा बोलना नहीं चाहिए था, इतना वो बोले कि नंदीग्राम में स्कूटी इधर उधर हुआ, तो उसको ठीक किया था कि गड़बड़ हो जाएगा, ये पता नहीं।
নির্বাচন কমিশন যে নিরাপত্তা দেওয়ার দরকার ছিল সেটা নির্বাচন কমিশন নিশ্চিত করতে পারে। মুখে কালো পতাকা, কালো কাপড় এঁটে, কালো পতাকা ধরে আমরা মৌন মিছিল করব 3টে থেকে 5টা পর্যন্ত।
Hello everyone, you're watching News Epicentre with me, Marya Shakil. The incident in Nandigram has taken centre stage ahead of the West Bengal elections as Mamata Banerjee recovers at the SSKM Hospital in Kolkata, where she is undergoing more tests. She sparked a firestorm last night after she claimed that 4 to 5 people attacked her during a roadshow in Nandigram. She suffered injuries on her left leg as well as her right shoulder and right hand. She continues to be under observation after she complained of breathing problems. As she receives treatment, her party is waging the war in the state, accusing the Election Commission of security lapses and also raising questions on the law and order front, protesting against the centre, who they blame squarely for the incident. TMC MP Shakil Roy even went to the extent of saying that when the Prime Minister remarked about Mamata Banerjee's scooter going idhar-udhar in Nandigram, he may have alluded to something going wrong during the Chief Minister's campaign. The BJP, on the other hand, is highlighting a supposed climb down by the Chief Minister, where she sent out a message from her hospital bed saying that her leg was crushed as she was meeting her supporters in Nandigram. In that message, she did not mention her previous allegation that she was attacked by 4 to 5 goons. Even the West Bengal police report has highlighted there was no attack on the Chief Minister. It was in fact an accident. The BJP has called it a political stunt as the first phase of the elections kick off on March 27th. Now, Mamata Banerjee will be back on the campaign trail on Saturday. She will be in Purulia. But has this incident now led to a significant shift in the election narrative in Bengal, as Mamata's street fighter image gets bolstered while the BJP's Vikas narrative gets subdued as it firefights while getting flack for what happened to the Chief Minister? Earlier today, I spoke to West Bengal BJP Chief Dilip Ghosh, who has called for a thorough investigation but blamed the Chief Minister of trying to gain sympathy as she faces an uphill political fight in Nandigram. आपने सीबीआई प्रोब का डिमांड किया है। अभी जो डिटेल्स इमर्ज हो रही हैं बंगाल पुलिस के सोर्सेज से, उनका कहना है कि ये अभी प्रिलिमिनरी रिपोर्ट के बेसिस पर ये अटैक नहीं है, ये एक एक्सीडेंट हो सकता है।
हम भी तो बोल रहे थे एक्सीडेंट है, हमने सुना अभी यहाँ लोकल चैनल्स में चल रहा है कौन सा लोहे का खंभा में गाड़ी टकराई है, क्या हुआ है। हो सकता है एक्सीडेंट कभी भी हो सकती है, किसी का भी हो सकता है, सतर्क रहना चाहिए। क्यों हुआ है उसका इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए, लेकिन इसको लेके इतनी बड़ी राजनीति और नाटक करने का क्या माने हैं। पूरा बंगाल में प्रदर्शन रास्ते में उतर करके भाजपा कार्यालय में अटैक करके और एक सीन क्रिएट करना, इससे हमको संदेह हो रहा है कि ममता बनर्जी हारने की कगार पर आई है, इसीलिए लोगों को डाइवर्ट कर रही हैं और इशू बदल कर रही हैं, सिंपैथी क्रिएट करने की प्रयास कर रही हैं।
तो आप ये मानते हैं कि इसकी वजह से सिंपैथी हो सकता है? चीफ मिनिस्टर को सिंपैथी
ममता
मिल
बनर्जी
सकती
की
है।
पूरी राजनीति ऐसी चली है, जब भी वो गड्ढे में गिरते हैं तो अब लोगों के पास जाके रोते हैं। जैसे कि अभी पब्लिसिटी शुरू किया उन्होंने, बांग्लातार में की चाय अब घर की लड़की हो गई है, अभी बुआ थी, अभी दीदी थी, माँ किचन शुरू की, और जैसे जैसे स्थिति खराब हो रही है तब सिंपैथी क्रिएट करने के प्रयास कर रही हैं। हम एक इंच इंच में देख लेंगे, जो हमसे टकराएगा चूर चूर हो जाएगा, इस प्रकार बात करने वाले अब क्यों ऐसे गिड़गिड़ा रही हैं, क्यों लोगों के पास जा रही हैं, क्यों महिला है हम इसलिए हमारे ऊपर ऐसा हो रहा है करके सिंपैथी क्रिएट करने के प्रयास कर रही हैं। तो उनको उनका राजनीति ऐसे ही है, सिंपैथी क्रिएट करना, काम नहीं करना, लोगों को भड़काना। कल तक उनकी इस घटना को लेकर बंगाल में पूरा हंगामा मचा, और आज उनका भी बयान आ रहा है, हाँ एक्सीडेंट हो गया, हम व्हील चेयर में चलेंगे, आदि आदि, हॉस्पिटल का बेड से स्टेटमेंट देना, ये सारा वही दिखता है।
लेकिन दिलीप जी, जो विजुअल्स आ रहे हैं ये भी सच्चाई है कि उनका पैर में इंजरी हुई है, इसीलिए वो प्लास्टर लगाकर बिस्तर पे लेटी हुई है हॉस्पिटल बेड पर। तो कोई भी इस घटना के बारे में झूठ क्यों बोलेगा या ड्रामा क्यों करेगा जो बीजेपी बार बार बोल रही है?
आज इलेक्शन कमीशन के ऑफिसर वहाँ गए हैं इसको देखने के लिए। अब वहाँ से ग्राउंड जीरो से जो रिपोर्टिंग हो रही है, मेरे सामने अभी एक चैनल में हो रहा है, वहाँ दुकानदार बोल रहे हैं उनके सामने, जहाँ से बर्फ़ लिया उन्होंने, कि यहाँ टकरा गया, गाड़ी आधा खुला हुआ दरवाज़ा था, वो टकरा गया। और वो खुद बोल रहे हैं, लोग आए थे मेरे से मिलने, नमस्कार में मुझे चोट लग गया है। तो बयान क्यों बदल रहा है? तो इसलिए हमें भी शंका होती है कि गड़बड़ है। पहले तो इसका ट्रीटमेंट ठीक से होना चाहिए, और ट्रीटमेंट इतनी बड़ी सुपर स्पेशलिटी हॉस्पिटल है वहाँ जिलों में, छोड़ करके कलकत्ता आना पड़ा, और बार बार अलग अलग बयान देकर लोगों को भड़काने का प्रयास किया जाए। इससे चिंता होती है। मुख्यमंत्री की तरफ से ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, या तो उनके मेडिकल बोर्ड बोलना चाहिए क्या हुआ है सच में, लोगों को जानने का अधिकार है, लेकिन उसमें पूरा राजनीति किया जा रहा है, वातावरण खराब किया जा रहा है, ये बड़ी चिंताजनक बात है।
बहुत सारे एनालिस्ट्स हैं, उन लोगों का ये कहना है कि बीजेपी को इस इमेज के वजह से कि ममता बनर्जी का एक्सीडेंट हुआ है, वो लेटी हुई हैं हॉस्पिटल में, उससे इस अपकमिंग पोल्स में जो चुनाव शुरू होने वाला है उस पर इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा, बीजेपी के लिए मुश्किल हो सकता है। आप मानते हैं?
वो तो आगे पता चलेगा अब किसको मुश्किल होगा। आज तो उनके पार्टी की ये हालत है कि पार्टी का प्रचार करने के लिए वो दूसरा व्यक्ति नहीं है। भतीजा घर से नहीं निकल रहे हैं क्योंकि पब्लिक में नहीं आती है सुनने के लिए। उनके सारे जो लोग काम करते ज़मीनी स्तर पर लोगों को जुटाते थे वो भी पार्टी छोड़ दिए, या तो हमारे पार्टी में शामिल हो रहे हैं। हर रोज़ एमएलए एमपी मंत्री भाग रहे हैं पार्टी छोड़ करके, करेंगे भी क्या? वही रास्ता बचा है लोगों को भीख मांगना कि मुझे एक बार और जगह दे दो, मुझे एक बार दया कर दो। इससे इलेक्शन जीतने का प्रयास हो रहे हैं।
So the first phase of 8-phase long battle for Bengal begins on 27th. What is the significance of this incident? How will it really impact the battleground state? Let me bring in my guests now. Yashwardhan Azad, former IPS officer, Radhika Ramaseshan, columnist. Dr. Nikhil Prasoon is the spokesperson of the West Bengal BJP. Radhika, I'm going to begin with you. 16th August 1990, when Mamata Banerjee faced that attack on her by a CPM activist, which made her take that resolve to end the left regime, and she succeeded in 2011. Do you see this incident getting her any sympathy?
Well, you know, sympathy, yes, definitely the image of her, you know, in agony. I mean, she was in agony when she was getting into the car, and then subsequently at the hospital, and then her message from the hospital. All this is definitely going to generate a degree of sympathy. But I believe that at this stage of electioneering, the battle lines are so clearly drawn that it's unlikely that voters from the BJP or the Congress and left will shift to the Trinamool. I mean, you know, I don't think there are any fence sitters left at this stage of the election. So therefore, I mean, yes, sympathy, yes, people will kind of express regret, express sympathy. And added to that, typically, you know, the BJP and the Congress are speaking in different voices. Some are commiserating with her. Some are saying that this is, alleging that this is a ploy and this is a drama and so on. This is not going to really help them, you know. I mean, if they just kind of stick to the straight and narrow and try to be kosher like Shopan Das Gupta, the Rajya Sabha MP was, BJP's Rajya Sabha MP was, in his tweet yesterday, it would kind of, douse the fires, and she will probably recover very soon, and she will hit the streets again. So I think the parties shouldn't sort of make it worse for themselves. And as far as I can see, sympathy, yes. Vote transfer, conversion into vote, I don't
So
think.
basically you're saying, Radhika, at best, this would be about moving the fence sitters on either sides.
I don't know how many fence sitters are left.
Left now. Fine enough.
Yeah, in a state like Bengal, I think
Yes.
the political battle lines are always very firmly drawn. So it's not a state with fence sitters like, say, Uttar Pradesh, where there is a floating, what is known as a floating vote, which decides at the last minute, and where an incident of this kind might have given the particular victim a big push, but I don't see it happening in Bengal.
Okay. Nikhil Prasoon, a point being made by Radhika about the reaction that came from the BJP. Shouldn't the BJP have waited before dismissing the claims of a chief minister as a stunt? Why jump to conclusions? Because look at what the reports are suggesting today. That the West Bengal police, in its report, which they have submitted to the Election Commission, are saying that this was an accident, not an attack. So instead of saying that this was drama, just within minutes of the incident taking place in Nandigram, should the party leaders have behaved with caution, just as Mr. Shopan Das Gupta did?
Look, the main thing is that at the outset, I would like to make it clear that this is the official stand of the party, that she is in hospital, and I would wish on this day of Mahashivratri that she should recover well and she should hit the ground as soon as possible. And me, along with my party colleague, wish her well so far as her health is concerned. Now, the main thing is that there are certain questions which still remain unanswered. For example, when the incident took place, the exact video that we see, as well as the accounts of the people who were there around, it indicates that probably it was an accident. Now, it needs to be substantiated. Now, that has been substantiated to some extent by the account of the Kolkata or the West Bengal police. Now, number two, there are discrepancies in her account today that she stated today and that which she stated yesterday. There are discrepancies in her statements. Number two, when she was injured, why wasn't there an ambulance alongside her? Because she was carried by the security personnel in the rear seat, and she was carried all the way to the Kolkata hospital, because she has herself built super specialty hospital in Midnapur. She could well have been carried there for the primary treatment, or maybe for the secondary treatment as well. Now, the third thing is that what about the security cordon that remains always along with her, because she has got a jet plus security? So these are certain questions, because we have been facing the music in the wrath of the people, the TMC cadres, every now and then. Our party president in West Bengal has been attacked almost more than 24 times. Our national president has already been attacked. So that, and our 140 cadres have been, most of them have been lynched and they have been murdered. So the investigations in such cases have not concluded as yet. The main thing is that the fragility of the security scenario has become the order of the day.
Yes.
Now, that is an extension of this.
Okay, so
if she says that she has been attacked, this is one. Number two, what is the circumstantial evidence that we have at our disposal? Now, it indicates that probably it was an accident. Now, what we are asking for, we are asking for an impartial investigation into it. If needed,
that
even
will certainly
to the extent
reveal
of
the
going
truth,
to the CBI.
what really happened yesterday. Yashwardhan Azad, the point being made about security lapse. This is a security cordon of a chief minister. The incident has happened in the presence of the director and additional director of security. It's a subject of inquiry, certainly. Give us a sense of how and what kind of layers of security that are there, because if it's an accident, it was, as Mamata Banerjee is also saying, that the door of the car hit the pole. That is what the eyewitness accounts are suggesting. So, of course, this is subject of investigation, but the chief minister is moving in a convoy. Just look at those visuals, and she is surrounded by people on both the sides. So, when when people try and come close to a Z plus security person or leader, then what are her security personnel doing?
See, there are two issues here which I'd like to flag at the very outset. First is that it's a serious, very serious security lapse and a safety lapse. And secondly, it is also the clear example of how popular leaders violate all canons of protection and violate all security protocols. Now, in this case, Mamata Banerjee has Z plus a level of security. Z plus is the ultimate level of security, which was given even to KPS Gill and other very highly threatened dignitaries. In Z plus security, you not only have a body protection, which is in the form of PSOs, you have, of course, a house guard, but even when you are traveling, you have a convoy, you have an escort, and depending on the level of threat perception, the security can be hiked to any amount. Now, in this case, as you see, it always happens, and we have seen it, that the road shows are very, very difficult thing to secure. It needs a very professional kind of security setup, a mobile security team which goes ahead, sanitizes, cleans up the area, and sees it. Now, a security man should have actually seen that on this road show, there are pillars like this, which are definitely going to interfere with this kind of fear. And with, the other thing is in road shows, it is very difficult to keep crowds at bay because you don't have those barricades. And this is not a prime minister's security. But the most important part is the jugaad that our politicians do, and then the security men just give in. कि किसी भी गाड़ी में किसी भी तरह खड़े हो गए, हाथ हिला रहे हैं. Now these are very risky things. You can't do it. Maybe as a 21-year-old, you can stand, and do acrobatics on a car. But for Mamata Banerjee, who's a very popular leader, who has tremendous support, she has to be careful about security arrangements. And if you're saying that the additional director and director of security were there, it was incumbent upon them to say that, ma'am, we cannot do it like this. Either you have a special car which is made in which you stand in the middle, and there are arrangements of this kind which can be done. But this kind of thing, complete violation of everything. I may just add now one last point. And that is, it is a strange thing in this country that everything goes by some kind. Now, election commission is going to inquire. What is the big deal of inquiry into it? It's a simple security inquiry which can be done by the superintendent of police and the intelligence department of the West Bengal government. And secondly, if election commission did a 8-phase polling in Bengal, then the election commission knew that how bitter the divide is, and then they should have given.
How polarizing the elections are in Bengal. I'm going to come back to you because now we are being joined by Shantanu Sen, Member of Parliament of the TMC. Mr. Sen, thank you so much. Why is the TMC saying that there is a deep-rooted conspiracy behind yesterday's incident when the Bengal police's preliminary report is suggesting that it could be an accident, not an attack?
See, first of all, it will be clear to you if you just see the chronology, right? The state president of Bharatiya Janata Party, he is giving a post that Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is falling on the ground of Nandigram. On the very next day, BJP MP and the youth president of the state BJP, he is making a comment, just see what happens after 5 p.m. Then suddenly the Director General of Police is changed, and immediately within 24 hours this type of thing happens. Let me share you my experience. On the day of filing up of nomination, when Madam Mamata Banerjee landed on the ground of Haldia, she had a rally of maximum 500 to 600 meters. And incidentally, I was there in that rally. Each and every person present in that rally has experienced that adequate police protection was not there, adequate police measures were not taken, and I am the witness when the Director of Security was calling SP over telephone and he was not picking up the phone. And now the entire police administration is under Election Commission. So number one, the tweet of State BJP President. Number two, the comment of state youth BJP president and MP, and number 3, sudden change of DGP, and number 4, this type of occurrence with the only lady chief minister of this country. It becomes obvious to each and every people of the country, I believe.
Okay, I'm just going to talk a little more about this, Shantanu Sen, because Mamata Banerjee herself has said in a statement from the hospital bed that her leg was crushed by the car. Shouldn't the party then wait for the investigation to be completed before, saying that there was an attempt on her life, and linking the Election Commission of India's decision of removing the DGP to this incident? Shantanu Sen.
Yes, come again. There was a break. Come
Yes.
again, kindly.
So, yes, the question that I'm asking is that because the investigations are on, and Mamata Banerjee herself from her hospital bed today suggested that her leg was crushed by the car, then shouldn't the party be waiting for the investigation to be completed before looking at what you are saying, that the Election Commission's decision of removing the DGP is linked to this incident that happened yesterday?
See, first of all, there are two parts, one political part and the other one is administrative part. Political part, the political party will be taking the part accordingly, and the administrative part, it will be coming into force accordingly. What I can let you know is, tomorrow we are going to Election Commission of India. We are having a delegation of 6 to 8 MPs, and we will be meeting Election Commission of India and we will be giving our deliberation. And so far the administrative part is concerned, our party has already taken up the issue with the concerned authority, but we strongly believe that this is a desperate attempt to damage our Chief Minister, to damage our Supremo, and definitely I personally believe it's a deep-rooted conspiracy, and which will be coming on the surface very soon.
So are you looking at this could garner some sympathy votes for the TMC?
Certainly not, it's not needed. Madam Mamata Banerjee, the developmental work she has done in the last 10 years, the entire people of West Bengal, they are just waiting for that particular time of voting when they will be going and they will be supporting Mamata Banerjee for her so many developmental activities. Sympathy vote is not needed for Trinamool Congress. Mamata Banerjee, the moment she has landed on the ground of Nandigram, the amount of support, the amount of public support, we have all seen the amount of public support she has experienced. This public support has made them scared, and that's why they are having no ground, they are having actually, they are nothing to do in their hand, and that's why they have taken this type of action, and they have got involved in this type of activities, and ultimately the final result will be coming out on 2nd of May, which will be once again proving that the people of Bengal is only with Mamata Banerjee and none else, with no one else.
Let me give the final words to Radhika. Radhika.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that this whole incident is getting caught in a vortex of insinuations, allegations, and counter allegations. To me, it seems like probably an accident. I mean, at this stage, it is foolhardy to suggest that there's a huge conspiracy theory. Having said that, our leaders, our political leaders, especially those with a huge mass following like Mamata Banerjee, have to be very careful while campaigning. I agree with one of the panelists. I mean, one has followed so many campaigns. One has seen, the temptation when they see a huge crowd around their convoy, the temptation to just walk out and just mingle with the crowds. I mean, Rahul Gandhi has done it. Rajiv Gandhi has done it. Remember that these sort of security lapses have taken away the life of one Prime Minister, at least. I mean, Rajiv Gandhi. So it is therefore really incumbent on leaders like Mamata to exercise some kind of restraint and some kind of caution. Otherwise, you're going to have unfortunate incidents.
Thank you so much for joining us, Radhika, Dr. Prasoon, Shantanu Sen, and Yashwardhan Azad. Of course, this is a developing story because there are allegations, counter allegations. All that and much more we'll continue to track very, very closely here on CNN News 18. That's all from me. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching.